Welcome to the Lytes Out podcast. This is Chris Lytes Out Lytle, and this is our journey to document the history of mixed martial arts. I have brought with me my friend, the MMA detective Mike Davis, and together we will preserve the history and hear some great stories from the world in the era of the no-holds-barred. Thank you and enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have asked, and we are responding. We have got a bunch of people from Canada that listen to our show. They've asked for some more Canadian guests. Not an easy thing to do, Claude Patrick, waiting for your return. But we got Ivan Menjivar, somebody that I considered an absolute pioneer of the sport, especially at the lower weight classes. And Ivan Menjivar, although by way of El Salvador, I think we can consider yourself one of that, like that first line of Canadian MMA fighters. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to share my story with you guys.
So usually I always ask, hey, what got you started in MMA? But your story is very unique. How do you get to Canada from El Salvador?
And I moved to Canada in 82 with my brother, sister, and my mother. After the war in Salvador, the country was going well and bad. So my parents, they are a little bit doing business over there, and my dad get kidnapped by people over there, just like that. And one time my mother and family give the money, my dad came back home. Months later he get kidnapped again, but this time was more not serious but hard, and he escaped for the people, and he went to another country. He contacted my family. Then my family did everything possible he can move to United States to escape. And that was his journey from Salvador, walking to United States, to Los Angeles, and then past the borders. And then he went to New York to see a family of my mother there in New York. And I stayed, me, my brother, sister, and my mother in Salvador. We changed city, and my mother did everything possible so we can survive. And she's a businesswoman, so we did never miss nothing at home. So some years later, she made the papers so to move from Salvador, to quit Salvador, to come into Canada. And there we are. We moved to Canada 3 months, 3, 4, 5 months later. My dad came to Montreal to join us, and we were together from that time here, and everything started like that.
Why do you know why your father or your family was being targeted by the kidnappers?
Just to get a little bit money. Sometimes many people tell me after that, after the war, many militaries, many police, and they have weapons, and they don't have the same, they're not working anymore. So people then tell me these people, they're policemen or corrupt people, they're kidnapping people to make more money. And that's what happened. So they just kidnap people to get money.
Yeah. So, you see that Latin Colombia. Yeah, a lot of the Latin American countries.
And my father and mother, they're not rich. They're just two people who have a little business and delivering beans. Imagine, my father just was a beans delivery and rice, and they think they have money because they have a little card. And that's a sad story. Many people pass by that over there, and my dad was lucky, but he's alive. And my mother, she's lucky too. We are alive. They do everything we can have a better life in another country, and that's really hard for them. Imagine a woman, she came here and started learning a new language. She was like 30, 35. And new language, new studies, a new culture. We moved here only with our clothes and my basket of toys. And we went to a place, but Canada was really generous too. They give us clothes, and bad, and was hard, but make you strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we are in right now. My mother have a house with my father. I have a house. My brother have a house. My sister have a house. We have education. So I think we lucky what we have from where we're coming from.
Well, you were given an opportunity and a system, and you used the system to better yourself. And you guys all did.
Yes. Yeah. And at the same time, I remember we came here. We start learning French. Me, my sister, and brother. We start learning a new culture because Quebec is special place and we love it. And French Canadian people, they're really open. Canadians are really open people. And then after we start learning French, we get to regular school and we try to have a normal life like everybody. And I remember when I get to high school, like a Latino guy, I tried 11 years old. I have watched high school 12, 13, and we tried to get accepted in the area, in the place, have more friends. And the gangs start coming to me. Yeah, Latino gangs. At that time, we have a little rivalry with against black people, against Arabic people. We young. We just want to be part of the gang. And slowly, the gangs of Latino, they try to make you more part of the game. At the same time, I was happy to be part of
A group.
bunch of a group
Yeah.
like everybody. And at the same time, I was passionate with martial art and comic books and movies. And I get lucky because my dad paid me my first martial art school, a 3 month inscription, and I enjoy it. I did a class of Muay Thai with an old guy, and I started learning Muay Thai, martial arts. And then the gang members, they come to the school and they try to, like, how you can say that, initiation to us.
Initiate. Okay.
Yeah, to the gang. And me and some of the other friends, oh, we're gonna part of the gang. That's good, yo. We're gonna be crazies, battle locos, that kind of style that time. And one at a time, one by one, we get initiated, like 4 guys against me. So, and they say, okay, Ivan, you ready? Ready? And they start punching me. And I start punching the guys, and I didn't fall. I kick him, I give headbutt, I get punched. I remember I get a punch in the nose. My nose was big like this, was bleeding, but I never fell down. And I stand up. I was doing martial art at that time, like a beginner. And this guy, they're so happy. Oh, man, you're strong. We're gonna call you Little Hulk. You're gonna be a fighter for us. And they're like,
It's creeper, puppet, little Hulk.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And I was happy after I tried to explain to people what happened to my nose. So I was playing baseball, but 1 week in the game, 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, these guys, they don't talk me anymore. Like they put me in the side and they never talk me more. And my friends who I was at that age, then they get in the initiation time and they get beat by the guy. They broke their wrist, broke the nose, broke the teeth, and they joined the gang. And like me, I was rejected from the Latino gangs. I'm like, what happened? And they just reject me because I don't know. They're just I didn't fall. You know, when you the young guys, the gangs member, they like weak people.
People they can break.
Yes. So I was in the corner. They never told me, so they never take me to smoke, to drink, and I was in. They just forget me. I'm like, well, I feel reject from the game. But at the same time, after the school, I remember I was joining another martial arts school. I started learning jiu-jitsu. I started learning martial art. And
what was
that
your
was
first? Go ahead.
but first I started the Muay Thai school, and then I quit that school because the owner he's moving. He just passing by here, a little school of 3 months, and I joined a traditional jiu-jitsu school.
What was the name of it?
Oh my God, that was a long time ago. It was a mix of jiu-jitsu and ninjitsu.
Okay, so it was a TMA. Okay, it wasn't real.
And that was no, it was not real. But that what I like with that school, the teacher, he showed me to follow the basic. It was really basic stuff, falling, uh, rolling, and he teach me really good position. And 3 months later, a man named Koji came, a Japanese, and he started teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Carlson Gracie. Marcos Suarez. He was a connection with Marcos Suarez in Jiu-Jitsu from Vermont, and I started learning Jiu-Jitsu with him. And I fell in love with Jiu-Jitsu because this guy, he was my height, like 5'6". Maybe Koji was maybe 150 pounds. I was a skinny guy too at the time, and he started choking me and everything. I fell in love. I was know what jiu-jitsu is at that time because I have the UFC tapes with Royce and everything, and this is jiu-jitsu. I want to do that, and I joined him, and I trained jiu-jitsu with him from maybe 4 years. I did many jiu-jitsu competition, and that was my first instructor. Then later he moved because he's supposed to go back to Japan, Canadian papers to, and then I started doing jiu-jitsu with another coaches and more focused in MMA. I started doing judo. I started doing wrestling. I started doing my boxing and Muay Thai. Not to do MMA, but just to learn. And I finished my high school, and I was in shape. I was training MMA. Even like at that time, we don't have MMA school, but I was training. Even if I don't know, I'm training MMA for the just for fun. And I started doing MMA competitions, amateur here in Quebec, and I win some ones, I lost some ones. And then one day, a guy from UCC, Stephane Patry, came and he started doing a MMA show, and I joined them. And I make my first MMA fight here, and I win it. And that was the start of the career, like just for fun.
From where I can trace you back is your first school was with Angelo Exhacos.
With Angelo, that was Tristar Gym. Angelo Exhacos, yes, Angelo. That was I joined Tristar on my third or fourth fight, something like that, because I was training MMA in another school, and that's the instructor. He moved from Montreal to another place, so I joined Tristar. I'm a third fight or fourth fight professional, and I came to Tristar. I started training with the guys. I met Angelo. He was a purple belt from Renzo at that time, and I think so. And we started training jiu-jitsu with him. They join, they invite me to the place, and I make new friends. I meet David Loiseau. I meet them over there. Firas Sahabi, he was a blue belt like me at that time. He was really talented. Because coming, Angelo Exaracu was the head coach of Tristar in jiu-jitsu, and Firas was a student. Everybody knows Firas Sahabi now. He was a student. He was really athletic. He was really good. And Loiseau was there too. He was a beginner MMA professional too. Later, George come to join us, but we have we make a really strong team at that time. And
Well,
after I make,
yeah, the dynamic also was Angelo. I think he worked for like the weekend, or he worked for the airline, maybe. I'm not sure, but I know he would spend all of his weekends with Henzo, learn everything he could, and then take it back to the gym.
Yes, it's true. It's true. He go to Renzo. He come to the later to training us. Remember what time was that? In 2002 maybe. And internet was not that big at that time. So and MMA was not big like today. So they go there. They're learning a triangle choke from the mount, and that was like the technique of the year. Remember that time in Jiu-Jitsu was like that. We find a website with some techniques on the internet, and we was, wow, this is revolutionary.
Right.
So not like today. We learn Jiu-Jitsu from the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu method in the VHS tape. Remember that? So, and remember Grappling Magazine, Black Belt Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So we buy it and we see the Mario Sperry techniques and all begin Jiu-Jitsu Gracies over there. So we learning Jiu-Jitsu here in Quebec. We learn Jiu-Jitsu like, how I can say, by videos. In the beginning was like that.
Yeah, trial and error. Yeah, trial and error. Yeah.
And I remember the first time I meet the first black belt jiu-jitsu he was Wagnney Fabiano. He came here to Quebec, and he was the first black belt in Quebec. He started
Brazilian
teaching
top team. Brazilian top team black belt.
Exactly. So and I joined that team, but we get good friends, and sometimes we train together. I went to him, we trained sometimes together. And man, that was the beginning in Quebec.
I thought the first black belt was Fabiano Holanda. You met Wagnney before.
No, Wagnney came here before. Then Wagnney moved to Toronto. Then old man, my master in here, what's his name? Gilina, forgetting him. Gilina, Brain Fabio Holanda.
And Wagnney Fabiano is Nuevo União. So I was thinking,
Nuevo União. Yes,
he's
you're
Nuevo
good.
União.
You're good.
Yeah.
Nuevo União. And now after that, Fabio came. Even too, he's a nice guy. He helped a lot us. George trained with
GSP?
him.
Yeah, George trained with him. Yeah,
George trained with him. I trained with him. I did some competition with him. And man, he's teaching us a lot. And he still have his school here. He have a good gym, and he have his family. And I didn't see him for a while, but I just say hi on the internet sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And And after Wagnney, we get Bruno Fernandez. He came to Montreal too. He's a doctor, optical eyes doctor, and he opened Gracie Barra. And he helping us again too. At the same time, Tristar get bigger in MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. Angelo quit Tristar because he get a business, a funny business. He's selling comic books and everything coming from Marvel for DC Comics, and he make a big business here with that. And he quit Tristar and he gave the place to Ferraz. Ferraz at that time he was amazing athlete. People don't realize it. He was really good. I can compare Ferraz to Bridget Penn, like technical, athletically, and
brilliant mind.
Yeah. He was strong, really smart, and he make a choice. Like, or be a professional, or be a trainer, and he make the choice to teaching people and learning and teaching us and taking care of like a trainer. He was young. He was like my age. We like similar age. He focused in training people for us, and he did a good job with us. And what else I have to say? Tristar get big. That's it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
destination gym. It's a destination gym.
Yes, and we have our rivalry at that time. We have the rivalry from TriStar against Montreal, against people from Sherbrooke or the east of Quebec, and after we get the rivalry of Quebec against Ontario and east of Canada rivalry, Vancouver, and at that time the federation was TKO. TKO, no,
UCC.
UCC. And UCC give us the opportunity.
Universal Combat Challenge.
Yeah, was a local fight, and the owner Stephane Patry, he did a good job. From one side, he really loved the sport. He tried to do the best for us, but the best for him. Normal. He need to live. It's normal, and he pushed us a lot. So he give the opportunity to fight good guys. With him, I fought Jason Black. I fought many guys from Militich.
Here, let's start with your first fight. Your first fight ever, January 27, 2001, Universal Combat Challenge. David Guigui.
Guigui. Yeah.
Guigui.
At that time, I was not training in TriStar. I was training another gym. And I beat Guigui. I meet the first time in a challenge Jiu Jitsu amateur. And we get a good fight. I win the fight by decision, I think. And then later, the manager of the UCC, he told, "Do you like guys want to fight professional?" And we say yes. And we match again together. That was at one round of 10 minutes. I remember that.
So you had an amateur fight against him as well. So your amateur record is not available.
No, because at that time was not 25. I think amateur I have like maybe 8 fights, maybe 8 wins, and maybe 3-4 losses. Yeah, but don't forget, I remember my first amateur fight. I was 16 years old, 17. I was
still in high school.
Yes. My father signed a paper, so I let my son do this martial arts against adult. So, so I win one, I lost one, and that was my first initiation. I remember that it was fun for me, and I didn't get hurt, so perfect. And later, I fight Guigui. I win by decision, and after we get to professional, 1 round of 10 minutes. Remember at that time, the rules was
very open. You allowed knees on the ground to the head. Was allowed.
Do we allow to do that? No, I don't think we have to allow it here in Montreal. We have little special rules in Quebec because I remember that's business, that's papers in law. Stephane Patry, UCC manager, he tried a lot, like to maybe you have to talk with him one day. He tried a lot of to make good rules for the sport, and he make a lot of compromise with the regime, with the Commission Athletic of Montreal. So he make MMA here. That's something I have to say. That guy, he make MMA in Quebec. Thanks to him, he make the connection with the commission, and they make a rule. He try everything and to make it professional, and he did a good job. So after that, he tried the 1 round of 10 minutes. My fight was funny. You can find it in internet. I don't know.
Yeah.
We get so tired. I remember after 7 minutes, I was punching. I was getting top of him. I did an anaconda on top, and I just punching at him. Guigui, please stop. And he tapped. I was like, I was so tired. So we went to the locker room. I win the fight. I was throwing out in the garbage because
adrenaline.
Adrenaline. And first time I do a a match in 7 minutes, supposed to be at 10 minutes. I'm like, wow, I love this. So after that, I did another fight against a guy, against Tristar guy. I win.
That's
And,
Jean Francis
Ye-
Bolduc is your second
yeah,
fight.
well, yes, I win the fight. And after that, I don't remember who's my third fight.
Here's the thing with Bolduc. There seemed to be a little anger. Like there seemed to be maybe you guys just didn't like each other. At one point, you tried to push kick him off the end of the cage when he went through the ropes.
You know why? No, I'm not anger. Just I remember at that time I was watching so much Pride fights and Vale Tudo fights. So he was, I don't know, at one moment he was between the roads. So in my training idea, I just push him out of the road. So it's nothing to be, but we was fighting in a ring, remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And in my training, I was, if somebody is trying to escape from you in the road, just kick him out that was part of my training. That was a reflex for me. Yeah.
So your first two fights, you win one fight by knockout or exhaustion. You win your second fight by split decision.
Yeah.
I will tell you in those two fights, I'm not trying to be rude, but in regards to being a special athlete, you became a special athlete later. You could not tell at this point in your career.
No, man. That was just the begin for us here in Quebec. And I remember one day I said to my dad after the competition, one day UFC is going to call me. Like, don't forget, at that time, after two fights, we're just beginners here. And I just remember I said to my dad after a fight, one day UFC is going to call me. And I met many fights everywhere. I tried to fight the more possible. And I was, oh, shit.
It's okay.
I was trying. No, it's the battery.
I know. Oh, do you want to plug in?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
And I try to fight the more possible. I remember, you're gonna laugh. I fought my third fight, 4 fights. Sometimes I just fight for $400 here in Quebec. So
well,
people don't realize
that's the time. That's the time, though.
that was the time, yeah. And $400 for a fight. We did 2 months preparation. The coach, like Angelo, he didn't do it for the money. He did it for the passion of the sport. He was happy to train with young guys and their focus. And after, man, the first time I make money was maybe when I went to Japan. So,
well, you're fighting for almost no money, and the audiences aren't huge. And Stephane's got a lot of production. Like he's got about 90% of the TKOs. He's got them in the library.
Yes.
With PPK, with John Francis Bolduc, who you beat by split decision, about 2 minutes left in the fight, somebody in the audience blows an air horn. And you're on top. You think, oh, the fight is over. And then, you give up position. Dude, that's a split decision because somebody in the audience blew an air horn. Otherwise, you would just rode the fight out.
I remember that. It's true. Man, and after people, I don't know, they make a rule. Nobody have to, they change the belt. After that, they change the belt. I don't know. That happened after that thing. They changed the belt. They make it's funny,
you were riding out. You were tired. You're on top. You're spending a lot of energy. You're just going to ride out the last 2 minutes, and you could have done it. They blow the air horn. You get up. He gets up. You look around. He jumps on you. Now you're on bottom for the last 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, it's true. And after they changed the that was the sport. Everything that was the beginning of the sport. Something else. I remember when I fight George.
Well, so that's 2 fights later. You got George St-Pierre, January 25th, 2002. You missed weight on that fight.
Yes, because it was my bad. I missed 2 pounds weight. The schedule in the gym was 2 pounds shorter. So, and I was happy. Okay, my weight is done, so I can relax. And I went to the scale before the weigh-in, and I missed the weight. That was my bad. And there was a fight at 169. 169 pounds? Welterweight.
Okay.
And I was fighting before at 155. So I started training to gain weight.
Why? I mean, why do you get talked into taking a fight at such a high weight?
Because there's no... If I don't take that fight, I'm not going to fight in 1 year again. Because at that time, the show was maybe each 6 months. So if I want to fight, you want to fight? Yeah, I want to wait, 165. Okay, 10 pounds heavy, maybe. Okay, I do it because I need to fight. And yeah, it happened like that. I remember I was, before George, I think so, after George, I was fighting a guy, Jason Black.
Wait. Let's stay with George.
Yeah.
We got Black. Okay, so George.
Okay,
what
George,
happens?
And I missed the weight.
What happens at the end? What happens at the end? It seems like there's a miscommunication.
Honestly, we did one good round with George, and yeah, the round was good. I was prepared. I was in shape. I did many good technique. I did really good takedowns. I'm happy, and then the referee. If you have the time to see the fight again, the referee was jumping in the cage. He was... I know the guy is a good guy. I talked to him. But be a referee was not his place. So when I stand up in a moment, Josh pushed me. I fall in my butt. He get in my guard, and he start punching. I was like, nothing hurt. And the referee came, and he started talking. He say, "Are you okay?" In French, "Ça va, ça va." Are you okay? Are you okay? I say, yes, I'm okay. I'm okay. And George, he stand up and he say, he want to quit. I'm like, no, man, keep going. And the referee, he just stand up together. He stand it up, and he give the fight to George, just like that. I'm like, what? Like the bell ring. I went to my corner. I was sitting, and I see George celebrated, and like he was happy to win easy. I'm like, wow. And
you never took any really bad punches. Like you didn't really get hit that much.
No, I was winning the fight. Sorry to say, but I was winning.
It was a couple good exchanges. Yeah, it was a couple good exchanges. You were definitely in the fight. Yeah.
And
it was still developing. Yeah, it was still developing.
And what happened after that, like I asking my coach, I asking the promoter. The promoter was at the same time the matchmaker, Stephane Patry. And man, can I cancel this fight? Can I do something? Yeah. When I try to do something, but 1 month, can we cancel the fight? Oh, let it go like that. Let it go. So normally they're supposed to make the same day, make a paper and say to the referee, I want this fight canceled because the referee did a bad call. And
well, that wasn't the only bad call. The first stand-up where you were on top was also a bad call.
Yeah.
Like you were on top, working, and you were just getting going, and he stands you up. But then when George is on top, he didn't give the same reaction.
The referee was bad. I'm sorry to say it, but maybe 2 shows later, the same referee did a bad mistake, and after that, the commission and they just cut him.
Yeah.
They canceled his license because don't forget at that time, be a referee in that sport was
Very hard.
hard too,
Yeah.
because not many guys have the knowledge. Everybody think a referee, MMA referee, we think about John McCarthy.
Herb Dean.
And
Yeah.
yeah, Herb Dean did a good match and at the same time bad decisions. I remember. So and referee in any sport is a super hard job. A good referee, when you looking a match, a fight, and you don't see the referee like a spectator, that's a good referee. The referee is just there in like a shadow to protect the fighters. But when you start see the referee, like what the referee is doing there, that kind of referee is bad because he's not in the good place where he interrupt the fighters.
The best referee is one you don't notice.
Yeah, I was fighting. I was fighting UFC. I get McCarthy 1 time, 2 times, never see him. We have a referee from Quebec,
Yves Levine.
Amazing too. I was many times he was my referee, and he know the fighters too, so he never interrupt the fight. He know when he have to protect the fighter, when he's threatening, is okay. Ivan, he's knockout, so I need to stop the fight. But you never see the fight. I was fighting my opponent, and the referee was never in the fight. Never in the fight. Yeah.
Yep.
And this, that's part of the game. After how many fights I have? Maybe
50?
35, 50. I did boxing matches. I did Muay Thai matches.
You're a 50 Fight Club member. You're a 50 Fight Club member. Yeah.
And a good referee, you never see it in the fight. He's just there to touch you, finish the fight, or begin the fight. That's part of the. There's a third man in the fights. It's the referee.
Yeah.
So it happened.
Where does your wrestling come from? I mean, you're from El Salvador. They're not known for their wrestling. And Canada is about on par with El Salvador. They're still not known for their wrestling.
We have Montreal, we are lucky because we have a good, amazing judo school. I did judo for 2 years just to learn what judo is. I did wrestling when I started getting more professional with Mark Silverman. He trained the Montreal and Quebec national team. Gia, I forget his family name. I trained with his name is Gia from he was a bronze or silver medal, Olympic medal for Canada. And George St-Pierre, he trained too with the same team, the Montreal Canadian YMCA club. It's not YMCA, it's a Jewish special club, wrestling club, Silverman club. And what I can say that we training together, he helped us a lot because we are good. We are like MMA fighter for him. We are good partners for his wrestling team.
Because you guys are, wow. You know, not a lot of Olympic, like if you were to try to do that with the United States Olympic team, they wouldn't let you through those front doors. It's very, very closed off. It's invite only. And him allowing the MMA guys in really upped the level of the Canadian fighters, for sure.
He helped in a lot. He helped George. He changed George's style completely because George, his wrestling coming from that school. My wrestling coming for that school, and my style wrestling was different too, but he helped me a lot. I'm more Jiu Jitsu guy too. So I remember I was training with Gia. He's 135 pounds. Okay. I was 160, 165. He take me down 10 times in 2 minutes. I take him down one time in in 2 minutes, maybe by lucky. And but because he was so good when I was training wrestling, when I was training in my MMA, it was easy to taking down a MMA fighter
Because
because
of the practice. Okay.
the practice. So and today that school is still helping the MMA fighting in Montreal.
Were you managed by anybody at this time in your career?
I help some guys, not really managing. Like coach, you say coach people?
No, like at this time in your career when you fought George St-Pierre, did you have a manager or was it just your coach?
Just the coach. Yeah, the coach.
Because Andy Lalonde, easier win. That's your fight after George St-Pierre. And then, like, your next fight, and that's George St-Pierre's debut that we just talked about.
Mhm.
But your next fight is an 11-0-1 Jason Black out of Militich fighting system that, for all intents and purposes, should have been in the UFC. But Monty Cox and Dana White and their
Monty
matchmakers,
Cox, yeah.
they were all fighting with each other. So he was almost like blackballed from going to the UFC. They try to make him go to a different team. And it's at 170. He's huge.
Yes. I was 155 again and then go back to 165. This is happened that fight.
You weighed in at 161 is what you weighed in at.
Yes, I was fighting. I was supposed to fight. That fight was afar from Montreal. It was like 12, 10 hours from Montreal. And there was what I have to say is I supposed to fight another guy. But that guy, he didn't pass the borders.
The physical?
So, yeah, I don't know why. He didn't pass the customs. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't pass the border. Oh, dude, let me tell you something. Your customs on it going into Canada, very difficult.
Very difficult. Because you're criminals.
Yeah, I mean, if you get like a DUI 15, 20 years ago, they won't let you. Sometimes they won't let you in Canada.
Yeah. So he didn't pass the borders, and all the guys, I was there. I was cutting my weight, and maybe a day before the weigh-in, the Stephane Patry came and he said, "Your guy, he not can be here." Oh, do I get paid? No, because the contract is not signed. So if you want to fight, you need to fight Jason Black because his guy is not here too. So you want to fight him? What way? He was weighing 169. I cut in weight to fight 155. Stop your weight cutting and just eat. And I say, okay, let's fight. And that was my first loss, I think. No,
your first real loss. I mean, George St-Pierre, but that doesn't.
Yeah, and
he's huge.
Honestly,
he's huge.
Yeah, I was not scared of the guy, and I did not know him. So, but I get a low that when I get to the fight, I'm like, fuck, this guy heavy, and honestly, I just let him. Okay, he choked me. He's big, so I don't win nothing if I keep doing this fight. I just stop with my feet, like he's not hurt me, so I'm like,
it's a north-south choke.
Yeah, and then I realized, like, oh man, that's a loss. I just lost a fight, and I'm like, okay, it's nothing special. Okay, I don't feel sad. Okay, it's nothing special. I lost a fight. I'm healthy, and that give me a new vision of fighting. Like everybody want to fight to win, 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 and then okay, if I'm not scared to lose, so I can enjoy more the fighting time. And after that loss,
man, you're a different fighter after that loss.
Yeah, after that loss, everything changed because I was so much scared of losing a fight, and I'm like, Okay, it's just that. So everything changed in my head. No more scared of losing.
No, I will tell you, when you guys watch Ivan's fights, his first 2-3 fights, they're unremarkable. They're not. I mean, all right, he won, but like you can see it, you're like, yeah, like, hey, man,
fun.
he did a good job. But I'm not going to sit here and look at that fight going, how much money does he need for camp? I want to pay for a scholarship. We need to move him. You don't get that from those fights. But then you see him after this fight. Dude, you're a monster.
Thank you.
It's the same thing happened with Dennis Kang. Dennis Kang, not very impressive, and then something clicked.
Yeah, it's like that. And that thing happened in MMA for many fighters because the more you fight, the more
relaxed.
Honestly, the more you fight, the more he's coming. He's come more natural. And it's mental. And you need to develop your style. You need to develop who you really are. For more you fight, the more you have the opportunity to be in the cage. It's like get to a new level of, and you can see that with the fighters like man, in UFC fighters today, from the beginning to today, they're not the same. Like the more you fight, the Anderson Silva in the beginning, that's a good example. Anderson Silva, when he was doing Vale Tudo, he was fun to see, but he's not the same guy. And he was fighting. He went to Pride. He was impressive, but I think he learned something different after Pride. He came something else.
Greatest in the world. Yep.
And
right.
I think many good fighters, they need to learn, they need to lose to come back stronger. And maybe that happened to me too.
I will say at this point, like, if I look at your fights, I'm going to say very fast twitch muscles, gritty, grimy, no bend, very aggressive, but you're incredibly technical too. And you usually don't get all of that. And you were the first smaller athlete, like the lower weight class athlete, that just checked every single box. It's just the weight class didn't exist.
Thank you. But that was my goal. Like, that was my goal, to be like a good fighter in everywhere. I was good boxer, not good enough to be a professional boxer, but good enough to give a challenge to a boxer and to surprise a guy in MMA. My wrestling was good, not good enough to be a wrestler, Olympic wrestler, but good to be an MMA fighter. I was saying many times when I was teaching, MMA fighters need to be like a duck. A duck, the little duck. Duck, he's not the best swimmer, but he can swim. He's not the best runner, but he can run. He's not the best bird in the air, but he can fly. So, and I was with George. We have a lot of, at that time, we get really close. And I was talking to him like that. We need to be good, balances everything. And he's a good example of an athlete who have a good boxing, good wrestling, good jiu-jitsu, good everything. He's not the best.
No, he's just good at everything. Yeah, he's better than you at something that you're not good at. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And a good MMA fighter need to be able to mix it. And many fighters today, they're just good strikers and good wrestling defense. And at my time, in my time, my goal was to be good in everything and be able to mix it from striking to take down, from wrestling to jiu-jitsu, go back to striking. And that was my goal for me. And I did it in my fights.
Well, also, Ivan, like, there's people, if you listen to this podcast, you're guilty of this. You get into like a Sure Dog or a Tapology, and you just study. You study who went where, who fought who. The guys that you fought here, you got George St-Pierre, Jason Black,
Serra.
Wait, your next fight, Jeff Curran.
Curran, yeah.
Also another victim of just not enough weight classes.
Yeah.
Jeff Curran was probably at 135 one of the best in the absolute world at this time.
You want to know something? When I fight Jeff Curran, I didn't know who he was.
Oh, you did after.
Yeah, and because don't forget at that time, we don't have internet like today. So he just tell me his name is Jeff Curran. He's waiting this and he have this fight. What style? He's Jiu Jitsu guy. Okay, so I just training to be good. And I meet him in the ring. We fight really good. I like that fight. I remember that fight, and I really enjoy that fight. And we push each other. I win my decision. And man, the level, he was good. I was good. I win by maybe 1 point. And at that time was like that. We didn't know, like, we can study the opponents like today's.
The thing with Jeff is he can nullify and just make everything neutral. Like, he takes very little damage, and with your type of tornado type output, it's very easy for you to lose your like, get exhausted while fighting somebody.
Yeah. And I all the time I training a lot. I won't tell you. When I was prepared for a fight, I was running. I was doing running weights and doing my jiu-jitsu style. That coming from my fantasy. I'm a fan of Dragon Ball, and what I was liking is this cartoon manga Goku. He was so much focused on training, and me too. I love training. That's why. That was all the time I take a fight, I was in shape. So, and I love it. And just to say it, like, after that, remember I fought Faber here in Montreal. Even that time, I didn't know who was Faber. Which I Faber.
Well,
yeah.
So, yeah. It's just you were just more training than planning, and I think in terms of Tristar as a gym, when Faraz completely took over Tristar, that's the one thing he changed very fast.
Yes, yeah.
His planning is some of the best in the world.
Yes, and but in my career, I did a mistake. Yeah, talking with Faraz later, my problem was in my career I make my mistake in my career. What I say when I take a fight is, when I was in UFC, I didn't take the time to really study my opponents. That was a mistake in my career, because I was not habit to me to study my opponent and to respect the plan match, the plan in a fight. So, and that was a mistake of me, because I was not used to. For me, go to a fight is everything can happen and I'm ready to do on an advantage to win the fight. But when you go to that level of UFC, or when the guys are really good athletes, you need. I didn't did my job at that time. My job is supposed to be to know my opponent. So I was prepared for a fight, but I missed that thing to really study my opponent, to get to know what I can do against him. All my fight in UFC, I win it, and the fight when I lost was because I didn't respect the planned match. Yeah, okay. And I know it now. After
Is
I
it-
see the fight,
Would you say it's
that was my
ego?
mistake.
Ego?
No, that was more how I can say methodic. I was not a methodic guy. I was ready for a fight. I was ready for a war. Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. Oh yeah, I was ready. But I was not methodic to okay, my opponent do this all the time. After to know my opponent before fight. I like discover my opponent in the ring. You know,
Wow.
that was my mistake. So, example, that's what I say today to guys at that level. You need to study your opponent. If your opponent have 7 match, 10 match, and you can find it on internet, you need to take 1 hour to study all the fight. Okay, this guy is a
Look for
soft
bad
palate.
habits. Yeah, look for bad habits.
Yes, and sometimes like that's part. The, need- the we need to study your opponent. It's really important, and that's something George did.
Hmm.
We are with Ferraz and with another coaches that he really take the time to study his opponent. BJ Penn, he's moving like this, his time reaction. He was really methodic and scientific.
Man, I have to say this. Was Vaseline a part of that studying BJ Penn for George?
Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
I want to tell you something funny. I remember with one coach in the when we went there. Sometimes okay, people don't know this, but when you go to a fight, there's rings, red corner and blue corner. Okay, and sometimes blue corners, all the fighters are in the same locker room. Example, you're gonna fight before me, and you blue corner, I'm blue corner too. So we
Yeah, of
arrive
course.
there with
Yeah.
10 fighters, more the trainers, and we training all together in the spot. And I remember one time a coach went here, guys, use this, put this in your feet, put this in your feet. Was that Vaseline? No, guys, this is a kind of glue. When you put it right now, it's gonna get dry. But when you go to the cage, you're not going to slide. We're like, really? Yeah, really. Try. He started put that thing in our feet. Like, okay. I remember that day, all the blue corner did it. He put a special glue in the feet to don't slide in the cage. But man, we not get caught. If you not get caught, it's not cheating. Like
It's true. Well, Ric
it's
Flair
true.
used to always say, if you don't cheat, you're only cheating yourself. You know?
But that's sometimes it's like that, and
It's a
I
game.
think
It's a game.
it's a game. So that was funny. We tried to put something in their feet to don't slide, but when we went to the fight, it's nothing helping. It's not. It's like
Still have to fight. Yeah, you still have to fight. Yeah.
yeah, and you slide at the same time. Man, MMA, be a professional is that was great for me. That was really fun. I really enjoy it. I make good fights. I meet good people. I travel around the world. That was a great experience. Man, I really enjoy it. I didn't make the millions of dollars who I supposed to. Imagine I put all that energy in tennis or in golf. I'm the next Tiger Woods. So,
yeah.
but
A degree. Yeah.
yeah, Imagine I was playing soccer with all the energy I put in MMA. I'm the next Cristiano Ronaldo.
It always surprised me being from the United States, where I knew you weren't making money. Like I mean, you weren't making money.
Mm.
And I'm looking at your record going, man, this guy's putting in a lot of work for somebody that's really not seeing big paydays. Because here, your next opponent, J.R. Palmer. That's your next opponent. He's in Hawaii, September 17th, 2002, UCC Hawaii. Your original opponent is Eddie Yagan. He falls off. They change you again. So you got J.R. Palmer. And that's something Stephane Patry used to do to you a lot. He used to switch your opponent.
Oh, why? Because he know we was young and we cannot say no. Like a MMA fighter.
You weren't methodical. You wanted to kill. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Give me a name, give me the price, give me the day. That's it.
What did you get paid for J.R. Palmer?
I don't know. $800.
But
I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember the money. That's the thing. That was the problem. I didn't do this for the money. That was a mistake. That was a mistake because man, I know some guys here. They're amazing partners, the good friends. They're zero talent. Sorry to say it, but they're selling tickets. They're selling tables for the show.
Were you a big ticket seller?
No,
you were not.
I was, but yes, I was a good ticket seller because the people love me. But in my entourage, I was not. I have a small entourage, so man, I want to show you my life at that time when I was fighting. Is 7 days of training, and I have good friends, but friends who know me, but they don't know the sport. So I sell 10 tickets to my closer friends when I fight some guys who they're selling 100 tickets and they're making money or they're making publicity and they're having a restaurant, sponsor.
T-shirts. Yeah.
And that was another mistake of mine. This is a business. And I didn't realize it at that time was like, you can make money in the fight, or you can make money before the fight. You can make money after the fight. And
you just wanted to fight. You just wanted to fight. Yeah.
I just want to fight. And that's the problem. Like people, like managers, some promoters, they take advantage of fighter because a young fighter, he want to fight. He don't care who, he don't care when, he want to fight and win.
So let me explain who J.R. Palmer is. J.R. Palmer at one point was the hottest prospect in Hawaii. After BJ Penn, everybody said J.R. Palmer is the real deal. And his stand-up and his aggression in an island full of very, very tough people, he was the king of Hawaii.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was. Danny Boy Bennett exposed him with the stand-up. You get him a little further down the line. How aggressive was he?
He was aggressive. I just remember he started punching, and I tried to close the distance, and he started giving knee to the body, and he gave me 2 good knee to the groins. Oh, man.
That's intentional. That's what he does.
And he broke my jack strap.
He broke your cup? You mean your cup?
Yeah, he broke my cup. He broke it. I was wearing a jack strapper from hockey and carbon special to protect you if you receive a hockey shot. He broke it. I'm like, ay. You know what's funny on that fight? The referee is Matt Hughes.
Yes, Matt Hughes. Yeah.
You have to see that. People have to see that match because he referee all the fight, maybe. It's too fun to see him.
Anytime Manny Cox is involved, he always had his fighters referee.
Yes.
And it was a UCC event, but it was also coupled with Manny Cox.
Exactly. So, and after I get my 2 minutes break, he came again. And Matthews, it's not over. He didn't give me the time.
He didn't give you time. He tried to rush over before Matt started. And to Matt's credit, a lesser referee would have allowed it to happen, but Matt stood firm. He stood firm. Many referees would not have. They just would have let it go.
Yeah, and we start back again, and I get the underhook. I get Doc under. I take the back. I suplex him in the head.
Bro, no. You belly to back suplex.
Belly to back.
on his own head. Yes.
Yeah, I was happy to do that.
Now, this is a guy that never wrestled in high school, is now doing belly to back suplexes. Like you're
training.
Okay, but you're training with people better than you. Like if you're training with the Olympic, the Olympic Canadian wrestling team, you're not belly to backing any of them. It's not possible.
Not possible. No.
So then how do you learn that?
From TV? From TV, from all the years watching what's his name? What's his name? Mark WWE, WWF at that time. Chris Benoit and and yeah, but that's what I'd say. For me, MMA is I'm supposed to know the more technique I can. A back suplex. That was for
perfect.
me.
It was picture perfect.
And I did it many times in other fights. And I told you, I love martial arts. I love study wrestling. And a suplex from many people, that's a supreme takedown. Like you passing a suplex.
Yeah, it's complete total domination. Match over. Yeah.
Yeah, I punched a little bit to one punch after because he hit me hard. And but I didn't get injured, so the cut was painful, but I didn't get injured. And after we check hand and that was fun. That was a good thing over there.
How was he at weigh-ins?
Losing weight, like cut the weight.
No, him when you guys weigh in the day before. I've heard many stories where he tries to fight people while weighing in.
No, he was not arrogant. He check hand, like a cocky smile, but nothing special. I think he was not impressed by my look. Like I was looking like a little kid, and that's it. No, he wasn't. Sometimes like that, sometimes the way in, with the face to face, it's really like emotional for the fighters, because that's something too. We're coming from a martial art. Wow. We're coming from a martial arts school, and we supposed to don't go facing the opponent. We're supposed to about to like stand in a distance with your opponent and don't be cocky. And the face to face in MMA and boxing is like something like the students need to learn to do that too. Like have face to face, like you and me, we put the eyes together and we're cocky. That's against martial art attitude.
The theory. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he's bullying your opponent. It's like it's something you have to learn.
When do you think George St-Pierre really was able to put everything together? When did you say to yourself, now he is a complete martial artist?
Oh, good question. When he fight me, he was a scared kid sometimes I say to myself, if I beat him that day, I don't think he's going to be the same of today.
Man, I thought that it's entirely possible because he was fighting scared, pure athlete.
Yes.
But like the referee shouldn't have stood you up. You should have been on top, and you probably would have been on top the rest of the round.
After me, he win the belt of UCC. He win a guy against Justin Brockman, I think his name. And he was better. He changed a lot at the time. After that, he defended his belt against a UFC veteran. I forget his name. He take the back of. He win by choke. Black guy. I forget his name. And but George came. The George we know today, I think after Shanshirk.
Ah,
Yeah, people don't remember Chan Churk, but I think George after Chan Churk fight because something changed him. He realized, but even he fight Chan Churk when he fought the first time Matt Hughes. After he fight Matt Hughes, he lost by armbar. I think
he leveled up. He leveled up after
he
that.
leveled up. Yeah, a
Yeah.
loss. He leveled up after a loss.
I think he realized that he belongs there. I think that's
Yeah,
I agree with
I
that.
love this. Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, so that champion a lot. Losing sometimes, helping. He came, he started training again, but he was more. I don't think I need to ask him, but I think he was no more scared of losing. You know, sometimes when you like Khabib, he's a perfect record, but I think if one day he lost, he's going to enjoy it. I don't think Khabib he put how much pressure. I don't think he really enjoyed the MMA world, and he tells him sometimes in interviews. I think, but I think if he was lost one day, he wanna come back with the joy of this is what I like. Look at what his name, Charles Oliveira. He have some. He win, he lost, and he was champ. He lost the belt, and now he want to come back. He have a new goal, and sometimes athletes need to have goals. Defend the belts is hard.
A loss will do that too. A loss like your loss, your first real loss, Jason Black. It helped.
Yeah, yes, but after that loss, I realized this is nothing special. So I enjoy this, and I lost sometimes by decision, but sometimes there's losses like like when I lost against Faber, that was like by choke.
Here, let's get there. Let's get there. So you beat Shane Rice, you beat Andy Sokol, and you have a falling out with Stephane Patry at this time.
Yeah, because after when you have a manager and the manager thinks more of him and to your fighters, and communication was bad, and I didn't get fights, so I think I get contact with people in Japan, and I decide to cut with Stephane Patry because I want to try. I think he get a vision to bring the fighters where he want to have his advantage because he want to get more close to UFC, more
close to Japan. Yeah, more close to Japan. Right.
Yeah. And me, I want to travel in the world, and one of my goals was to fight in the big federations. I remember I was kid. I put Pancras, I put Pride, I put in UFC, I can put King of the Cash. I want to fight in these places, and I get the opportunity to go fight in Japan. And man, all the fighters need to go to Japan to fight at least because it's amazing when you touch that ground. And wow, I just enjoy it.
So, what's wild is like when you think of pure fighting, Brazil, you always think of Brazil, but Japan is the exact opposite in regards to just approach, but their success is incredible.
Yeah, he is.
Well, November 29, 2002, you also fought for Mark Pavlich. Mark Pavlich, MFC.
Yeah, yes.
He was a kind of a controversial promoter himself. How was he?
He was really good boxer. I remember we fight in a local show here. Mark Milicic was in his corner. Mark Milicic wife at that time, I don't know if he's married again. He was married with a French Canadian girl.
He's on Pat Milicic.
Pat Milicic. Yeah, Pat Milicic.
He was married to a French Canadian.
And
kind of a bad divorce too.
Okay. And he came here, and he was a good boxer. I just remember the fight, stomach change, and he did this. He came with a hand like this. I put my hands up to protect, and he switched it to our uppercut. Fuck, I get it here. I just remember see the star falling in my butt, and he started punching. My eyes closed. I just hold an arm, and I finish him with the armbar. My eyes was closed. I just remember David Loiseau. He took me in the air. You win, you win. And I'm like, I don't know where I am. You win, you win. I don't know where I am, man. I win. Okay, good. And
Yeah.
I just remember the stars. I was okay.
How was Mark Pavlich as a promoter, the MFC promoter?
It was good. I remember I fight professional. Yeah, he paid me after the fight.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
So that's
okay.
it. That's
okay.
it, yeah. But I didn't get the chance to fight again with him again.
No, that was it.
Only one time.
Very controversial promoter out there.
Okay, in good thing or bad thing?
I hear both. I hear mostly bad.
Okay.
But it's he's a promoter. I mean, what are you going to do? Like you said, you got to make money. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
After this, your run is incredibly impressive. Look at you got Brandon Shuey. He's 4-0. You win by knee bar, 38 seconds. Yeah. Vitor Rideiro, comes out of Nuevo União. Also, he's 7-0. He is supposed to be one of the absolute best in the world. Fabiano is in his corner, and man, there was a big size difference between you two. It was in Florida.
Yes, Shaolin Ribeiro.
Shaolin is a savage, bro.
Honestly, I think I take the fight. Stephane Patry bring me there. I take the fight. I know it's Shaolin because I know the name, and I was not scared. But I think he gets surprised. So his jiu-jitsu level, he take me down. His jiu-jitsu level was good. He was strong, but I was not in danger, and I think we get a good match. And
his size was the difference. His size was the difference.
The size was a little different, but I enjoyed it. I was not. That's what I think. I say you. I was ready for a fight, but I was not prepared and have a planned match, a strategic against my opponent. So I lost by decision. I was not injured. He caught me. Yeah, he gave me a good knee to the eye. He caught me, but I was not bleeding. And
you know what? Because it was in Florida. That's the match I saw where he was dropping knees down from the top, trying to knee your head on the top.
Yeah, he get me one time, and
yeah,
he just caught me, but the referee say keep going, keep fighting, and he win by decision. I tried to punch him. I tried to beat his jiu-jitsu, but we not get. I think him too. He was prepared for a fight, but he was not he didn't have a strategy. He was not a planned match.
Guys, watch it. If you watch this fight, they are so fast. It's like watching two flies fight each other. It's just like it's hard to kind of figure out what's going on. And you guys are move, counter, move, counter, move, counter in very, very fast time. I bought this DVD specifically for this fight. And I was shocked. Because I'm like, man, I know him. I started buying the TKO libraries after that. I've got almost all of the TKO library as well. Just getting them back. Yeah, no. That was a really good one. Antoine Coutu, Mike French. And then you were supposed to fight at UFC 46, and you have a visa problem.
UFC 46 against
Matt Serra.
Oh yeah, that was my first match. I won 55.
No, but But UFC 46, they said that you had visa issues and you couldn't make it. Is that true or is that false rumor?
No. It's true because what was my fight after that?
Matt Serra. You went canceled fight against Matt Serra and then Matt Serra.
Why I didn't take that fight? I know something happened. I was supposed to have a fight. I didn't have a fight I was supposed to have a fight at that time with somebody else because I say I can fight it because I have a fight in something. I don't remember. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that UFC called me. You like to fight Matsera? I say yes, thanks, but I can't for the moment for some reason. I don't know what was the reason. And
here, can I maybe? Did you have another falling out with Stephane? Because in January of 2004, Aristeia Management signed you. So maybe was it Stephane that blocked? Maybe Stephane blocked you.
UFC called me directly to me that time.
Okay.
Yeah. I was not more with the Stephane. So,
you definitely signed with that Aristeia Management.
I signed with these guys. There was really good guy. He tried to make a new federation. They signed me. I fight for them. I don't remember why I say no to the first match against Matsera. Why I say no, I don't remember. And I remember after I say yes to the match against Matsera, I fight Matsera, George fight the same day. I think Loiseau fight the same day too.
Well, in Matsera, yes. Yeah, you had 3 big Canadian names on there, yeah. Matsera lost to Shoney Carter by spinning back fist. Fluke, he was winning every second of that fight. Loses to BJ Penn, one of the greatest ever, at 55. Mm-hmm. And loses a split decision to Din Thomas. You and Matsera, man, dude, that fight is so fast. You almost finished him. You almost caught him.
Yeah, he gets saved by the belt. Once again, I was prepared for a fight. But that's my error. That was my error. I was supposed to be prepared for Matsera. He take me down. I try my Jiu Jitsu my best. He take my back. I defend from my back position. We stand up again. I try to punch him. He was heavy. He take me down again. I try some Kimura from a moment.
He was defending while you were constant offense.
Yes. I was putting my lot of praise. But once again, I have to say it, no plan match. That was my mistake. I was supposed to study him and
let me kind of put this into context for people just so they understand. Matt Serra was one of the best in the world at this time, and there's no argument about that. His MMA jiu-jitsu was so far ahead of everybody else. You were claiming that you weren't methodical, but now listen to this. Ryan Ackerman, 11-5-1. That's his next fight. He's 2 fights after Miguel Torres. Miguel Torres, arguably number 1 in the world at 135. At this point, Ryan is the first guy in almost 35 fights to actually beat him. You knock him out in the second round. Brandon Carlson, 9-1. You beat him by rear naked choke in like minute and a half. You fly to Japan, Miki Shida, who is friggin' insanely good. That's to me, your Shaolin Ribeiro in this fight. It's like that Shaolin fight made you level up, and you're not supposed to beat Miki. You came in shitty air flight right before the time adjustment. You came in there to be just cannon fodder. You fucked him up. He's 8-1 in pancrase. If you follow this show, 8-1 in pancrase is legit. A 500 record in pancrase is legit. He's 8-1.
I like that. I would like to. I was mad because after my fight with Miki Shida, pancrase didn't call me back.
I'm gonna tell you why they didn't. I know why they didn't call you back.
Why?
You were soccer kicking him to the head, And although it's a part of the rule set, it's frowned upon.
Really?
Yes.
But that was the rule.
That's right. But in pancrase, it's a culture, and they don't like any kicking to the face. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
I think they like that. Oh,
We like that. Not so much
No.
pancrase. No. But wait. And then after that,
yeah.
Joe Lauzon. He's 9-1. You hit him with a calf
Yes.
slicer. The first
Yeah.
calf slicer I've ever seen in MMA. And then after, dude, that's a historic run right there. Historic run.
Yeah.
Urijah Faber, TKO 24, January 28, 2006. You got David Loiseau and Faraz Zahabi in your corner. He's got Joseph Benavidez in his.
Oh, wow. You know what's funny? At that fight, okay, I know him a little bit by name, but I didn't study him. So, but what's funny
at this time? No. At this time, he's 10-1, number 4 in the entire world. They fly him in to fight you, and you don't really know who he is.
And he came here. It was January, February. He came in
January,
Bermudas,
in the winter from California.
He came with sandals and shorts, no jacket. One day you ask him, he was like that, and he was freezing. But man, that was a disqualification for me. But I don't know. The commission, the guy, the manager of the commission, I remember, I did a kick, I miss it. Supposed to be a warning.
I think it grazed his shoulder because it made a sound. I heard a sound. Okay, so I'm watching it. Let's. You guys are going back and forth.
Yeah.
I think he won the first round by very little, but your bright spots were much larger than his, and it seemed like your bright spots were going to continue getting bigger, and he seemed to be slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
You guys get into a scramble after you land a couple elbows, and when he gets up, you throw a kick. I hear a noise. I don't know if it's a slap of your hand. I don't know, but there's definitely a slap, and the referee thought you connected with his head, and he's got a huge cut over his eye.
That cut was maybe a headbutt. Maybe
it?
I don't know.
Or an elbow.
I know elbow. I think I give a elbow, and but I think I need to see the fight again. But was not the leg. What happened there? When he fell down, I tried the kick. I missed it. I really missed it. But I remember when he found his butt, I hear this name, the owner of the commission. He jumped in the ring because it was a ring. No, it was not a cage.
Yeah.
He jumped in the ring and he started yelling, disqualification. And the referee was like, what? I need to talk with this referee. I need to find him. And he just followed his instruction. And this old man, because now he's an old man, I met him, but I think it was his fault. Why he jumped like that? I don't know. But that was a bad call too for my career. But after we get I get the opportunity to fight him again, and he was fast. He was fast that day.
He learned a lot. He was
he
not expecting that. But I will tell you this. You learn a lot about a fighter in an instance like this. You knew that the kick didn't land. You weren't throwing things. You weren't screaming. You were upset, but you handled yourself like a professional. Right? Do you agree on that?
I'm agree, but I'm supposed to yell more that next time.
I think that would have helped. But Urijah Faber, on his post-fight interview, he said, man, it was a heck of a fight. It was just kind of just starting to get going. He said, the cut on my eye did not happen from the kick. He's like, I don't know how it happened, but it was not from that kick.
Mm-hmm.
So in the ring, rather than say, yeah, DQ, I won, let me get out of here. As a man, he said it wasn't from the kick.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Yeah.
Both of you guys.
No.
Both of you guys impressed me.
Yeah, no, he's a real athlete. Honestly, he did a lot for his career. He's a good example to follow. He's a good businessman. I think he's managing people now. I have a big respect for this guy, and man, that's part of the show. Huh? So, Faber, I say him hi. Maybe one day he can invite me to do jiu-jitsu with him.
For maybe a Fight Pass show. You know what? Next time he goes live, I'm going to put that in there. You and Ivan Menjivar, maybe even for ADC. That'd be a good ADCC Masters match as well. Joe Lauzon, the calf slicer.
Yeah.
Where did you pick that up there?
I like I like doing technique. I love sambo. When I was training, I have a coach. One day he was training a lot of sambo. He teach me a lot of stuff like that. So I did something special in my way of training. When I was fighting jiu-jitsu guys, I go against something they're not used to, like sambo. When I was fighting a wrestler guy, I do something they're not used to do, like something they never train. I know Joe, he was a great, amazing MMA fighter. He had a good striking, good Muay Thai. His wrestling was good. His jiu-jitsu is good, but when I see him, I want to attack the legs. And I connect him with good elbows. So he was stunned, I think. So
he took it last minute. I think you were supposed to fight Antonio Carvalho, and Joe
yes,
stepped up.
Yeah. And me at the same time, my coach Firas, he tell me, okay, you're gonna fight Joe Lauzon. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. Okay. So if I fight a jiu-jitsu guy, I said to myself, I'm going to elbow him, knee to the body, and that was my plan match. So, and when I see the opportunity, I get to the legs. I love this kind of technique, and it's working. When every technique is good at a good moment, and I see it, I did it, and he tapped. And I feel his knee.
He needed surgery. Yeah, he needed surgery after that.
Yeah, I'm sorry for him, but and
it's the game. It's the game.
Yeah, it's the game. I know, and he was young. He was a young guy too. So, and look at him after he came a UFC legend. He have so many fight bonus, and it's amazing.
Here, you finish Ryan Ackerman. You finish Brandon Carlson. You decision with Miki Shida, which was a war. Mm-hmm. You finished Joe Lauzon, and arguably you should have got your hand raised with Urijah Faber with a finish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Bro.
Oh, I have many good names, yeah. No, when I see myself in my career, so I fought the best guys in the moment. So that's good. Imagine if we're supposed to get paid how are we supposed to get paid for that kind of fights?
You'd be living in a mansion right now.
Yes, I love what I'm living, but yeah, it's true. That's if people watching that fight, they're gonna see that's MMA. What age in the 2000s? That's different level, but it's not the same MMA like today. Too today, guys.
It's more point fighting.
Yes. Oh, at that time we was more. We want to fight to win. You know what I like in UFC now is the the internet match, the first matches, the undercard match.
They're very hungry. Yeah, they're very
They're hungry.
hungry.
They're not
Yeah.
scared. They want to prove. They want to. Ah, man, they're ready to war. So, if you guys want to see the good fights, watching the undercards, and man, these guys, they're not scared. You see, on the cards match, there's nobody in the stairs, and there's nobody. There's no crowd. They're empty. You realize that on the cards, and the
It's sick.
fights are amazing.
It's disgusting, man. It's just like boxing. People get there for the main event. That's it. Yeah, no. It's disgusting.
But
Yeah.
the on the cards, man, I remember
It's the best part. It's the best part of the UFC is the undercard.
Yeah, the undercards. Yeah, you discover new talents, and these guys and the girls too. They're hungry, and after that's something happened to the fighters too. The more they get popular, the more they get pressure in the head, and they get more protected. So, but it's normal, because the money are in the pay-per-view fights. So when I fought Matsera when I fought Faber in the pay-per-view, I make money. I lost, but after I see my paycheck, I was, oh wow, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So
when you fought Caol Uno,
oh yeah,
did Stephane Patry sue you for breach of contract?
oh my god, that was a mistake. Like, this happened. I signed a contract. I was not with Stephane Patry. I signed a contract with a booker in over there in Japan, and I signed a contract with K1 Heroes. My first match, I did 1, 2. Caol Uno was my third match. That was a championship. Okay, and before my fight against Uno, I went to Stephane Patry and tell him, can we sit again together and try to talk again? We're more adults. I'm more older. You have more experience. I think you're looking more serious now, more zen. Can we sit together and try to see if we can do something? He said yes. Okay, perfect. We start talking. Okay, look, I have a contract with K1 Heroes. I'm gonna have this fight, and after is the championship. I wanna to go try to that. Okay, perfect. Can we sign something for after this? Okay, we're gonna sign something. Okay, perfect. And then we make an agreement. Like, okay, do you like to fight for me before the Caol Uno fight? Okay, we can try to do that. I call K1 Hero. You allowed? Yeah, you allowed. Perfect. And he give me a date, and then he changed the date, and the date was too close to Caol Uno fight. I'll tell him, man, that's too close for me. So I'm not gonna do your fight because I need to do 2 times the weight cut in a month. Oh yeah, but if you fight against what's his name, Mark Cominic, for me, you can win this fight. You can win it. You can win it. You do the weight, and then you go do the 3 weeks later. You're gonna, and I tell him, no, I can't. Sorry, man, I cannot. Oh, why you don't wanna do it? I did poster. I do the promotion, and I'll tell him, no, I have a fight 3 weeks later. So we get mad again, and I focus myself to my fight against Caol Uno. I lost the fight. I get injured, and when K1 Hero sent money, Stephane Patry called them, sends the money to me, and I lost my opportunity because K1 Hero they really like me, and K1 say, okay, you have a contract with him. Okay, perfect. We send you money. I'll call K1 Heroes and I tell them, where's my money, guys? You're supposed to send me 2 weeks ago. Oh, Stephane Patry called us and you need to talk to him. Really? I'll call him. was my money. He never asked him back. 1 month later, I went to the lawyer. The lawyer sends the paper. We went in court, and the judge decided he give me back my money, more interest. I give in one part because the judge say you have a contract and blah 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 blah. So I give it 10%, but he give me more of 10% with the interest and yeah. And after that, we didn't talk again. So and when that was it with him, yeah. So I get my money back. He pay me and after my fight against K1 Hero, my knee get hurt. I get a ligament section 8 in my left leg. You know what's bad in that fight? I went in the ring, and what I see Carlo Uno, he was wearing wrestling shoes. I tell to the referee, Ferraz was in my side, and Ferraz, he's wearing shoes. Like, yeah, he would talk to the referee. Why he's wearing shoes? He's allowed, but he's not allowed to kick to the head. I'm like, we never get that rule. Oh yeah, he's allowed. I'm like, okay, the bell ring. First thing he did is kick me to the knee. I'm like, he hurt me. Like, because when you kick with someone with the shoes, it's not the same impact. It's not the same. So that's why UFC, there are no more wrestling shoes in the cage.
It grabs. Yeah.
It's not only the grab, it's a really hard impact. And I get injured. I did my best. That was, if I remember good, that was 2 rounds of 4 minutes. So that was a tournament chip. And if the 2 rounds was draw, we go into a 3rd round. But he win the decision, so he went to the final against Jay-Z Calvante.
Jay-Z Cavalcante. We just had him on. Man.
Monster.
Monster.
At the same time, I was happy to don't fight Jay-Z, but I would like to fight against him.
You know what? You guys have a very similar style. Very similar style. But he's much bigger than
he's big, he's strong, yeah. And I met him, and I lost that day. Come back here, my knee was injured, and I meet Carlos Uno. No, I meet man, what's his name? Oh my God, I forget his name. The first Canadian lightweight champion, welterweight champion is
Joe Dorkson?
Carlos Newton. Carlos Newton.
No. All right, yeah. Carlos Newton. Yeah. The first Canadian champion ever. UFC champion.
Carlos Newton. Yeah, I meet Carlos Newton there. He's a Canadian. He's just living 2 hours from Montreal. But I meet him in Japan, and he told me, Ivan, when you come back, I want you to call me back because I would like you fight for me in IFL. I tell him, really?
The Dragons.
And he gave me the invitation, and I say yes. Okay, perfect. I was in a short period of time. He put me in the team, and maybe I think 2 months, 3 months later, I fight for him. You can see the dates.
Yeah, it's you lose in K1 Heroes October 9th, 2006. And then November 2nd, 2006, you're in the IFL with a hurt knee.
Yes.
Here in Chicago, yeah. Right? Yeah, it was there.
No, was Oregon? That was in Chicago?
Was it Chicago or was it Moline?
I don't know.
And I know I was there, yeah.
And I joined the team with Carlos and I tell him, look, my knee is not 100%, but you sure? Yeah, I need a guy. So I joined it. And that was one of my best fights.
Portland, Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah, Mike Whitehead fought. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
And I fought a military team that was Bart Pavlich.
Yeah.
Man, this guy punched hard. Bart Pavlich. Is somebody tell me who's punching hard in my career?
Jeff Curran's student.
Jeff Curran's student.
Yeah.
And Bart Pavlich, man, he hit me so hard and remembered the pain. And he flashed me some. I get some flash knockout from that fight. It was a good fight
Split decision.
and a split decision. I think we make a good fight of the night, but we lost. I lost, but I was happy, and I did it with a bad knee. So after that fight, I was happy, and I decided to do the operation of my knee. So I take a break, get kids, and I start training back and slowly coming back to MMA again. So
Where are you training at now?
Tristar Gym. Yes.
Are you coaching? You're coaching there as well?
No. I don't coach because I don't have time. I have a full-time job with the Montreal Bus Transportation. I'm a bus driver now. Sometimes I was driving and the guys coming inside and I'm a Menjivar. I saw your fight. Yeah, pay your card. And I'm a full-time working. I like it. And what I like is I have the time to training. So in my break time, I go to Tristar and I train again. At least I do one training a day. I work in 5 days a week. I training 6 times a day a week. My jiu-jitsu is good. I take a break the last 2 months. I get an eye injury. I get a cut. So I take a 2 months break. But I'm supposed to go training now next week, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So that's my life now.
Man, that's good. That's excellent. All right, let's wrap this up. David Loiseau, give me your opinion on him.
Who?
David Loiseau. The Crow.
The Crow, David Loiseau. Yeah, I say it in French. The Crow. Right, babe. Today he's teaching here at Montreal. He have a new school from now 5 years. He just started a podcast with Pat Cote. Just starting a Pat Cote.
Patrick Cote. Okay.
Yeah, they opened a French podcast talking about MMA, talking about training. He's working a lot. I'm sad because I don't have the time to go see him, and we close. We are half an hour distance, but with my family, with my job, when the time I have, I train. Man,
it's hard.
We don't have, it's hard with family. He's busy in his job. He's focused. I tell him anytime, man, come dinner, but time, we don't have the time sometimes, and we have to take it.
What about Ali Nestor?
His school is just maybe 10 minutes driving from house. Man, he tried to go in politics last year. He get trouble. He changed his school place. He did a lot. Ali Nestor, he did a lot for his community. He did a lot of.
He used to help you a lot. He used to help you too a lot.
Ali? Yeah,
Ali?
No, he continue. Yeah. He do a lot for the community, and man, I think he changed the life of many kids. He make a school teaching martial arts. He puts teachers to help the kids to continue the school. Man, and Ali, he was good, but I want to say honest, like analyzing, he was a level he cannot go higher. But he was teaching. He was managing a gym. He was manager a promotion. He was fighting in the promotion. He was helping kids, and he was a businessman. He's a real pro, living from the MMA. He's teaching guys, and man,
good stuff. Ivan, you're an absolute legend. I think you are incredibly underappreciated, and I sincerely appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, thank you to to talk with you, and I'm really happy you give me the chance to talk. Like me right now, I just enjoy the life. I have a kid coming soon in
Another
2 weeks.
kid?
Yeah, it's going to 4. Yeah, that my yeah. I have 2 kids. I broke up. I meet a new girl. We get new kids, and I have a little girl, 3 years old. I train in Jiu Jitsu. Life is beautiful for me right now. I still doing Jiu Jitsu. I helping the guys in the gym the more I can, and I would like to open a school, but I don't have the time. So, and it's a business, huh? If you talk with to the guy who have a gym, it's a business. So that's why I have a lot of respect for the guy who have a gym, because they're real professional. And man, guys like you who give it the opportunity to professionals and to talk about the sport. Thank you, man. Thank you to you
Nah,
too.
bro.
Because
Bro, let me tell you something, man. At one point, you were the boogeyman. Like I'm Team Miguel Torres. Like Miguel Torres,
really?
he's like lives in our backyard. Like he's very close. I've seen him fight 20 times, and I remember just looking at your record, just trying to. There's no flaws. There's no flaws in your record, man. It's
Thank you.
impressive. It's
Thank you.
impressive. It's impressive, brother.
Thank you. So and now the sport is so big. So man, we enjoy it, the guys now.
Yeah.
Do you think the athletes today is gonna have that kind of record like me I have? Or
No, there's never going to be a 50 Fight Club member. So like in the UFC, like Drew Dober, Tim Means, like Neil Magny, Gerald Mearshart, those guys don't get a lot of respect with the common mixed martial art fan.
okay.
But in that locker room respect that they get, just like you, that locker room respect is enormous. The headline people will say, "No, that's Neil Magny, man. That's Gerald, Mearshart." They don't have, are they gatekeepers? Maybe, but they got 30 fights in the UFC. That's not easy.
That's not easy, man. 35.
No.
Wow.
No. So those are the guys I like, man. Those are the guys I like.
And yeah, it's true. And the experience, wow. That's what I'm happy. I fight in Japan. I fight in United States, in Canada,
Florida, Hawaii.
Florida.
Dude, you flew in Hawaii.
Yes, and I fight in K1 UFC Macau. That was a great experience too. And man, honestly, I'm really happy with my career. So
You should be. Yeah, you should be. It's just you were too early. You had this sport been today, man, brother, you'd have 300,000-400,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah. And
easily.
Easy. I remember. You may imagine the first time I opened a Facebook account, an Instagram account, I was late. That was too late sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's another
Sure.
the sport changing. The sport is changing so fast. So everything's good for the sport.
Excellent. Ivan, you're the man, brother. Thank you for your time. I got about 2 hours.
Thank you for you.
Greatly appreciate it, sir. Take care.
See you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here's my list of like all-time Canadians. I like the new guys. Payne Peters falls into that category. I shouldn't say new guys. I like the old guys. Even though Payne, he didn't have a great record and he fought a lot of people, always fun to watch, cut a cool promo. I like Joe Dorkson. I saw Joe Dorkson fight about a dozen times on the independent grind. Ivan Menjivar, I only got to see him fight maybe only 2 times live. You know who we didn't bring up? We also didn't bring up Sean Tompkins. We brought up Mark Hominick, but I also really enjoyed watching Sean Tompkins just take those local kids and make them into something. Like Mark Hominick, Sam Stout, we got great interviews with them. Trying to get more Canadians. Carlos Newton won't return my call. Claude Patrick and I had a brief exchange through text message. TJ Grant, great listen, another really good Canadian. I know we got to get more Canadians. We got to get more Australians. So if anybody listening to this right now, Harold Howard would be amazing. Anybody from Canada, we're willing to have on as long as they've at least touched the UFC. That's kind of like our prerequisite, or somebody that's got like an incredibly interesting career or happenings. So if our audience, we need your help. Please like, share, subscribe. If you got iTunes, leave us an iTunes review. I think we got 52 reviews. We need like a few hundred of them to really make a difference. We're putting a lot of like research time and prep into these, and they're evergreen interviews. So if you enjoyed this one, we got about 200 right behind it that you might enjoy as well. So, dig into our catalog. Thank you guys so much, and see you next week.
Check out the full interview on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms.